This is my geography lesson for kindergarten. It is the first lesson that we're going to be doing on learning about our states. For the first part of the lesson, I'm just going to ask the kids to go up and see if they know where Oklahoma is, and I'll have them circle it. So put a circle around Oklahoma if they know it. The past standards for this lesson are the kindergarten standards for geography. Standard 1, and the students will demonstrate knowledge of basic geographic concepts. And there are 4 steps in this standard, but I'm only actually hitting on the number 2 and number 4, which is beginning to develop an understanding of city, town, state, and country. And number 4 is recognize Oklahoma on a map of the United States. The objectives in this lesson: the students will be able to identify directions of north, south, east, and west by doing various activities involving drawing lines and answering questions. After this, they'll be able to place objects on the smartboard in the correct area based on the directions given, either north, south, east, or west. They'll be able to place different objects that are on the screen. They'll just move them with their fingers to the correct place. They will be able to state the city, state, and country that they live in, and they will also be able to point out or circle the state of Oklahoma on a map of America. For the first question, I have a treasure map here for the kids. It's for also activating prior knowledge to see how well they know these things. It's asking, is the playground north, east, south, or west of the principal's office? Right here we have the classroom, right here we have the playground, down through here we have the principal's office, and over in this area we have the cafeteria. So principal's office, playground, classroom. And I asked them to use the shape tool and draw a box around the playground. So they would come over, they would go over to the tools, and they would get a box and draw a box around playground. And then I've asked them to draw a circle around the principal's office down here, and then draw a line to them. So they get the pen and they could draw a line. And then I would ask, what is this closer to the north-south line, or is it like the west-east line? And then we would figure out where playground was to the principal's office. We would answer it based upon that. The next slide is talking about the state that the children live in. They live in Tulsa, and it's the city and the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a state in the country of America, and we're not actually talking about America as a country yet. We're just talking about Tulsa and Oklahoma right now. So what I've asked them to do is use a highlighter. They'll use a highlighter and they'll color in the star, which represents where Tulsa is in Oklahoma. So we'll color in that star. And down here at the bottom, the star is where Tulsa is inside of Oklahoma. So this is the state of Oklahoma, and this is where Tulsa is, where they live. The next slide, it talks about Oklahoma is close to the middle area in America. So right here is where we have, this is America, and here's Oklahoma, and I have the star in Oklahoma so the children can see that. And I have directions using the pen tool. Connect the word Oklahoma, right here, this word, to the state of Oklahoma on the map. So we're going to go around here and connect it. And I also asked them, after the teacher checks your work, erase the line, so that they can get the eraser out and they can figure out how to use that also, so that they know how to fix problems if they ever encounter them by putting the lines in the wrong areas. So the slide after that, we're talking about the states surrounding Oklahoma. So Texas is the state under Oklahoma, that's in red, so the star is red. And Kansas is the state above Oklahoma, which is in blue. And I've also left the yellow star in Oklahoma so they can identify that. Notice I have a compass on every slide so that the children can identify the north, south, east, and west of where everything is. In the next slide I ask, what direction is Texas to Oklahoma? And I've asked the students to draw a line from Texas to Oklahoma, which that's a really curved line, but I've asked them to draw a line. So if they go about a straight line, they'd be able to look up at the compass and realize that's a north-south line, not an east-west line. So they'd be able to say, okay, well, Texas is below Oklahoma, which is south. Then the next slide is asking where Kansas is to Oklahoma. The same thing would occur with them drawing a line from one to the other, and they would be able to identify that that was a north-south line. On the next slide, I talk about east and west states to Oklahoma. California is a state on the far left side of America, And Maine is a state on not only the far right, but also on the top side of America. I didn't put north and south or east or west on these states because I want them to identify that in the questions on the next slides. The question is, where is Maine to Oklahoma? I also added there will be more than one answer because Maine is not only east of Oklahoma, but it's also north. So the answers will be north and east. And I also have them drawing a line that way and saying, okay, maybe in the middle of the compass, it won't be directly east or directly north. The next question is, where's California to Oklahoma? On this one, I also have them drawing a line from California to Oklahoma to help them, and this one's going to be west. California is west of Oklahoma. In this slide, what the children will be doing is reading the directions and placing the correct animals in the correct area of the paper. They will place the bird and the camel in the east, so the bird is going to be over here and the camel is going to go over here. The caterpillar and bear will be in the north, so they'll be able to move those. The fish will be in the west, and the alligator will be in the south. So these are more fun slides for the kids to really be able to activate that knowledge about compasses and practice with it. These are more animal slides, and the animals where they go on the map, and also one more animal slide. And our final slide is going to be kind of a quick quiz. We're not actually going to have all of this learned by this time because this is our first lesson, but by the end of the next lesson we should be able to answer these questions. Our state is Oklahoma, so they'll put that one there. Our capital is Oklahoma City, which we hadn't talked about, but that's the next thing. We live in the city of Tulsa. Our country is America, and the capital of our country is Washington, D.C. And some of these things that they will talk about in the next couple lessons. They don't have to put the words in each one. They don't have to move it. They can actually write the words if they feel like writing them in. They're able to use the pens to write in the answers if they want to. So that's an option that they have also. That is the end of my geography lesson for kindergarten.